do you mind just telling the people who you are, what you do?
All right, yeah. So my name is Breon Thomas. I usually start it off like, there is a guy from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Kill. His name is Bree, and this is Bree TV. Bree TV, yeah.
Hey, before this bitch started, I want to say one thing. The bitch a move. Bitch a moving.
Like that.
The bitch a moving, man.
But yeah, so I'm an expediter, thank you. I'm an expediter, man. I also go by Bree TV, and really, expediting is just basically an over-the-road driver, but I drive in vehicles that don't require DOT regulations. So
That's dope. So many of you guys that's listening to this already know that I'm an independent courier, did some expediting, did some moving company type work. But in this particular podcast, I don't want to make it about me. I want to pretty much just talk about your story and how other people can get into that are interested. So what made you want to get into expediting?
So I was having a very hard time in the job market. I'm very good with people, so I was finding myself I'm very good with people, and I'm very smart. Like I can figure out things, right? So I was finding myself in jobs that used my talents of making and building relationships, but I had a secret, right? I can't read that good, right? Just to be straight up honest with you, right? Like I was in special education in elementary, but I was able to work my way through school, through relationships, and I finished college.
That's dope,
right? Right.
That's super dope.
That's a story within itself.
Yeah. So even after that, though, look, I went into the military, and I got a job where required me to have a security clearance. That doesn't happen if you don't score a really high score on
the ass. Yeah.
So I'm a high achieving mentally, but my reading is not up to par, which led
me. We can't tell like what you accomplished.
Right.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, a lot of people out there like me, bro. That are, I would call us geniuses, figure out patterns. And solve problems, but then in certain situations our weaknesses still show, right? Language arts and stuff. So I say all that to say I was looking for an opportunity that I could use my gifts of building relationships and my desire to have experiences, but then also I could make money doing it, right? And as I researched and just looked for traveling jobs, because I traveled and looking for opportunities that I could use my gift, I ran across somebody talking about using a cargo van, right, to make, $50 an hour? Yeah. And so from there, I seen that people also use these same vans and bigger vans to deliver things from state to state. And that was called expediting, right? And so once I started doing my research on that, then I got fired from a job. So it required me to like put the things that I was learning in action. You had a girl on your I guess she was collaborating with people, and she was an expediter, right? And so she started talking about how like she was getting loads from one state going to the next, and she was making almost as much money as an 18-wheeler. And my thing from a hustling mind, I'm like, wow. So she get to travel the country. She's in a van that she sleeps in. That's no hotel expense, right? And then also she doesn't have the risk of driving a vehicle as big as an 18-wheeler, because like. People target those to get hit. You know what I'm saying? That's a check any day, right? And so I'm like, man, like I could travel the country in a vehicle that like pretty much rappers and people travel the country in. Like this makes a lot of sense to me. You know, if I want to go to California, like, and they gonna pay me to go,
right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no brainer. So like after after I got fired from that job, about a week and a half later, I was able to get my first van. And within a week from there, I started running my first loads, man. I started off with a localized courier company within Atlanta, but they also had some longer deliveries, right? It wasn't route work. They would do it based on, you know,
the demand.
Exactly. So once I got out on longer runs and I started going to truck stops, I started inquiring, hey, how do I connect the dots from what I'm doing here to doing what that girl was doing? Because I don't know if she's still doing it. I tried to hit her up, like it didn't work out. But like, then I ain't stopped there. So I just asked as many questions as I could, and I finally ran into like brokers and dispatchers that you know put me in a position where I could run over the road. So that's my initial start of expediting.
Absolutely. How has expediting been for you economically, personal, peace of mind? Like how many years you been expediting now?
So I started expediting last November.
Okay.
So this is about
a year.
About a year now. Yeah.
So how has expediting been for you personally?
Man, so okay. Like right before I got that job, I had got out of the military, right? And I was dealing with some adjustment issues, and I was in a managerial role in the position that I had got fired from. It was at a local company where I was a restaurant distributor. But I was still struggling with being around people. Does that make sense? Like just readjust. I didn't know how long that was gonna take, but I had a problem like readjusting back. So you asked me how did it impact me? When I got on the road, I was able to be in the country and just have time to myself to reintroduce myself back to Breon, if that makes sense.
Right. Got it.
And so I'm getting paid for that, and I'm listening to audiobooks and learning at the same time. It's like
it's therapeutic almost is what it sounds like.
Bro, like I also do photography. I do this visualization technique called schmizing. I learned it from Tyra Banks. It works. I'm telling you. So basically, you picture one of the like most exciting moments in your life every time you look at a camera, and that makes your eyes smile without your mouth. And so my image changed to looking at the salt flats in Utah because I had a load out there, and I got there when the sun was setting, and when the sun set, the ground is a mirror and it reflects what's up in the sky. The only thing like I seen was the road in front of me, and the rest of it was a mirror, bro. Like that image brought tears to my eyes, like thinking that something like that was actually in front of me, and I'm getting paid to see this as a creative myself. Oh man, but like I said, and I'm getting paid for this. It's a whole, like at that time I realized this is a holistic experience, right? I am making money and I am making peace, I guess. You know what I mean? And you can't put a monetary price on it. I'm sorry, I should be leaving over here too. Yeah. So yeah, man, did that answer your
Absolutely.
question? So yeah, it's been amazing, bro. Like couple months in, about 3 or 4 months in, I was able to get a bigger van, and with that bigger van, I started being booked more readily because now I had more space and the ability to haul heavier things. So that definitely put me in a space where I was more available, and then just certain things happened that worked in my favor as well. You know, people be saying that in business you gotta have luck. I don't really believe in that. I believe, you know, I was called to be in certain positions, and I would say I've definitely leveled up since I got into expediting.
That's dope.
In more ways than one.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So, as somebody that I'm assuming you don't know anything about expediting.
I know quite a bit about the trucking business. I got family members in, but not so much that level of it. I do know a few people that do it.
Okay,
I know a lot about it.
You. Kid, you know about expediting?
JC, no.
Okay, so as you being somebody that doesn't know anything about expediting, I want you to ask him like specifically what you do not know about expediting, because I've been in the industry for a long time. He knows about the industry, so oftentimes we can have these conversations and we try to create as valuable content as we possibly can to the listener. But you're here as the subject matter, know nothing, to ask questions.
Did you hear that?
I mean, that's a profitable position to be
That
in.
is definitely right.
Like,
Yeah,
the
super
best
right.
questions is better than some of the best
You're
answers.
the most important.
Understood. So when you say that the vehicle was not an 18-wheeler,
Correct.
and then you also said that it is the same type of vehicle that rappers use, what type of vehicle are you exactly talking about? Because when you say rappers, I think in my mind a bus.
True. All right. So when
The nice and pretty buses.
right. So when you see rappers like taking like local tours or something like if they're on a major tour, definitely they taking a bus, and you do need a CDL to operate those vehicles. But when you see like them hopping out of a Sprinter van with the leather seats and stuff, you know what I mean, with the TVs in it, these are the types of vehicles that I operate. I'm the Mercedes Sprinter van, Dodge Ram ProMaster, Ford Transit, Nissan. You know what I'm saying? Your Amazon or FedEx trucks. These types of vehicles is what I would be referring to when I would say like the rappers are like. You know what I mean?
Right, no, I get it.
They kind of introduced me to the like idea of, because Expedite is on the road. When we drop it off, we actually living in our vehicles. So with me seeing a rapper in these on tour, living in them, I'm like, okay, this space could be a lot nicer. You know what I'm saying? And I still could do my job. Does that make sense? Yeah.
So, and you don't need any special type of license?
Oh no, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it, right? So all you need is a driver's license. That's it. And then also you need insurance, because you're operating a vehicle that's doing commerce across state lines, and so that requires a certain amount of insurance to have what they call a motor carrier number, which allows you to operate and do business across state lines in the transportation industry.
So is it less red tape to actually go through and less paperwork?
Man, that's a beautiful question. Yeah, you asking the right questions, right? So the reason why they call it expediting, right, is because we can do things a lot faster than your box trucks and your 18-wheelers, right? So if you have a vehicle under, don't quote me all the way, but it's like under 10,000 pounds, right? 10,000 pounds. You don't have to follow the same regulations as your bigger vehicle. So that would mean in a 18-wheeler they have to stop every 11 hours, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
So
More like
mandatory sleep breaks. They have to keep.
Don't quote us on the time, but we know y'all gotta live.
ELDs is electronic log books, right here. So they have electronic things to make sure that they are stopping their vehicles, and if they don't, their MC number could be revoked. They can get in trouble. But with me, if my stamina was built up enough, I could go out and drive 50, 60 hours straight, right? But think about that, like,
And you didn't need gas.
if I didn't need gas, but you know what I'm saying, even then, so you have these, like me. Sometimes I run what's called team drivers. Me and my brother 2 weeks ago drove from Atlanta to Ranchos Cucamonga, California. Right? right? That's it Friday.
That's what-
Okay. And we ate it in and out. Let's talk about it, right? Yeah, it's it was like 2,000 some odd miles, right?
Yeah.
But we did it. I want to say we did it in less than it was like 31 hours.
Oh wow.
It might even have been less than that. But the way that we did it, we didn't stop.
Right.
While he driving, I'm on my cot in the back sleep. He might get 2 or 3 hours of let me sleep for 2 or 3 hours, and then I'm running for 12. He chilling, but I got this number. Does that make sense? Like you just
I hear you.
keep going.
Are there facilities in the truck?
As in like restrooms?
Yeah.
That's a good question, man. No, No. This is good because a lot of people, and there are women that do this, by the way. I've ran into them, and so let me explain how they do that, right? So you don't have facilities in the truck, but you do stop when you go get gas to use the restroom. But then also most expediters and truck drivers have Planet Fitness memberships. Right? Planet Fitness Black Card.
Take a shower and everything.
Yeah.
That I feel honestly because I be on the road so much. I mean, I got a place to stay, but there are things that's familiar to me in every state I go to. How can I explain? Like I said, it's like when I see a Planet Fitness, when I see a Walmart, I feel like I'm good.
Right.
Cause that's something that I know that's in Tennessee, that's in Atlanta, and if I go to Washington, both of them is in Washington too.
Right.
That's something that's not gonna change. So those businesses definitely, I feel like, is a major part of every transportation industry, and it helps you keep hygiene and like I said, women do this. So all of the things that you guys will have to do to make sure you feeling, normally human.
Yeah. And
You
still
can
stay
do
at
it.
peace while we're on the road.
Exactly.
So I totally get it, especially when you said holistic.
Exactly.
That's my jam. So I used to live in New Jersey and drive. That's my jam.
Jam. It ain't too much. No.
Exactly.
Hey, we can do that, though.
Yeah, see? What is the problem?
Yeah.
I used to live in New Jersey, and before I came down, I used to drive.
You couldn't pump your gas up here.
First of all, it's illegal.
So ain't gonna be there.
Go ahead.
It is illegal to pump gas in New Jersey, and I miss it very much. It saddens my heart to have to get out of my car.
Expedite.
It's 27 degrees outside the other day in Atlanta for some reason. I don't
Expedite.
understand why. And I had to get out to pump my own gas. I don't understand
Make
it.
sure
I
how
don't
it
have
is.
a kid and I'm from then home concierge. But understand I am the owner of the Bougie Zen podcast, and understand bougie and pumping gas ain't got nothing to do with each other. And I love New Jersey.
I'm gonna tell you though, how I learned that, I was in Oregon, delivering freight, right? And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I pulled up to a gas station, dark, in the middle of nowhere. This one of them towns where it's like the only thing in there is a gas station. You seeing tumbleweeds and stuff like, and so I pulled up. I didn't see nobody. I promise this was like every scary movie. This dude walks out of the darkness, like skin like sunk in. He ain't say nothing. I'm already on 10.
And I'm looking for dude.
I didn't know that this even existed.
Yes, and bring your
I said, when I realized that I already had to pump in, pay, I'm pumping my gas. Nah, it was worse than this. Like, yes.
This is balled up telling the story. It's a very traumatic experience.
Yes, I was like, the first thing I did, because he came, after he opened his mouth and scared me, then he got nice. But I'm already vigilant.
What you
I'm
want
like-
to do?
I'm thinking, I'm nice, so I'm trying to be nice and to let you know you might need to give me a sec, bro. The only thing I can think of, bro, I'm proud military. I'm trying to say, bro, you got PTSD, like, you know what I'm saying? Bro,
See, I'm trying to say I got PTSD. I can't even say it.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I said, I don't care what you gotta do. Get away from me. He said, bro, you in Oregon. I said, I don't care what you do.
I'm mad. I'm scared. Man, I can't even tell you what I'm doing.
He was like, this is against the law here and in New Jersey. That's how I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
It's illegal to bucket on gas. They will start screaming at you.
Expediting though. So
You need gas when you expedite. You need gas when you expedite.
Yeah, you do. Like, if anybody trying to get into expediting or be a courier, one of the most beneficial things to get a gas card. Not even just in expediting the courier, but if you got if you're an entrepreneur, you got an LLC, it's profitable to put all of your gas expenses on your card.
facts.
But, yeah.
That's fact.
Oh wait, what I was saying was, because I didn't finish, I was interrupted. I know when I used to drive back and forth to New Jersey
Yeah.
by myself,
Mm-hmm.
so I get it and I understand.
Yeah.
I was about to pilot.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
never understood, because
Hey.
I'm a woman and we're at a truck stop,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then one time the bathroom was being used, so the lady was like, I'll let you in the shower. And I was instantly froze up like, oh, no.
Yeah, when you went in there.
When she let me in, it was gorgeous. It was like a mini bathroom.
Come on.
It had luxury. The shower was a glass seamless door shower.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Fact.
Who knew?
Fact.
Yeah.
Everybody here.
First of all, that is not the truth. That's not the truth.
Man, it's a whole, like, if you want to be on the road, it's a whole economy out there to support you, like, living on the road.
Yeah.
Before I got out there, I didn't understand, like, how playing out it already is. It's like,
Right, because it runs on that.
yeah,
The
it's
country runs on that.
Facts.
Yeah.
like you think you in the middle of nowhere, but it, like 1 or 2, 3 miles down the road, you got some sort of civilization that can connect you back to something that feels familiar, which is important. So you'll get out there and you feel like, hey man.
You don't go home.
Yeah.
I've been there, bro. I lived there.
For the women who are looking to get into expediting
Yeah.
trucking,
Yeah.
because that's one thing that we'd be a little skittish about. Like, where do I stop?
Yeah.
How do I know I'm gonna be safe? How do I know I'm gonna be clean?
Oh, yeah.
So
And you
yeah.
know what's, and I'm so glad that you are sitting here and asking these questions, because one thing about like driving, bro, like in every state, I don't know if I even need to go there, but this is something I definitely think about. Like in every state, you can't drive with a weapon. So legally, true, legally. So, but if
We're all about legal stuff.
yeah. If you wanting to abide by the law,
Yep.
you don't have that in your vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
and so you have that's dangerous within itself.
Right.
People target. I don't know if we want to go here, but like
Well, let's keep it right.
okay. But people target people that move freight, because most of the time the things that we moving is valuable.
Yeah, it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars, the value of whatever it is you're holding.
Yeah, so that's a real issue, and so I do have things, and I do things so that if I am in a situation, I can protect myself. And if there are women in this space, that's something that should be on your plan. What am I going to do in worst case scenarios? You see what I'm saying?
No, definitely. Because I used to take that drive to Jersey by myself.
Fact.
And when I first started out, very skittish.
Yeah.
And then once I found the pilot and how luxurious the
It
pilot
was,
actually is,
yeah.
I didn't mind taking that job, and I would take it all the time.
Because you
Once
can
I found
stop. You can stop overnight and chill. Like that drive don't have to be out on one day.
Right, in the beginning, I always did it in one day because I didn't want to stop on the side of the road and become a statistic. Yeah. So, but now after finding pilot and the information you just gave about Planet Fitness and the Black Card, I think that would definitely leave room for women who are thinking about getting into that business. And a little bit of freedom and lift the weight and the scariness of
away
their
from
shoulders. Yeah.
And so I also think that expediting can be a profitable thing for people that might not even per se want to be in it. Like anybody that's traveling for what am I trying to say? Anybody that's like that, their job or their business is on the road. You might operate within a certain region. I think it's profitable to find a company you might be able to lease on with. Why am I saying that? Because if you already are driving from Atlanta to Texas, right? You might be able to and you gotta haul stuff. If you're already in a van, what if you have a company that wants to put a pallet on your vehicle? Then you're getting paid to transport stuff to a place you was already going.
Right.
Yeah, if you got the space to do it,
yeah. And my thing is it's something I feel like y'all touching in is the food truck and different businesses within vans, right? This could be in your business model, like your strategic plan, like how can I lower the cost of transportation? That's just a thought, cause Corey just asked me, "Were you working tomorrow?" I said no. I can I don't have to work. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I choose when I want to pick up a load. Even if I call somebody and say, "Yeah, hey, find me some stuff," and they find some stuff, they still gotta call me and say, "Bro, do you want to take this?"
Right.
It's no forced freight.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
No repercussions after that either.
Facts. Cause as soon as they say, "Okay, you don't never take nothing, you can't run from me," it's 10 or 15 other dispatchers or companies that you can go to find freight.
Right.
That's dope. That's what makes it different than a 9-to-5 job. You want to call in 4 days in a row and say, "I don't feel like working," and then on Friday you feel like working. They might let you in, they might not, but working for yourself give you that freedom. So, but let's break it down by the numbers though.
Okay,
so, for the average person out there that just hey, just give us the basics. Okay, where I get the equipment from? Okay, if I need a piece of equipment, let's start there.
All right, so the equipment that you would need is a van, and so where I got my van from is car dealerships, But you also can, if you got somebody that go to auctions, you can go find one in the auction, a used vehicle. Most companies that you try to lease on with want to make sure that you have a vehicle that's going to be able to last over the road. So most of them have a requirement for you to have at least like a 2013 or 15, something like a newer vehicle, so that if you have a freight, they're not worried about your motor blowing out or something like that. So anywhere you can buy a van from would be a place to get vehicles. Maybe you might
question everybody has is there a particular make, model, size, or
good question.
Yeah, what would you recommend to those people?
So when I first started out, I had a low roof Nissan 2500. That's your regular standard size cargo van, right? The roof, I think from the base of the van to the ceiling was like 56 inches. But that limited me on a lot of freight because what we run is partials, right? Partials are one or two pieces that normally would go on the 18-wheeler, but since the load isn't a full truckload,
Right.
they put it on expedited vehicles. So you gotta think the stuff that's going on 18 wheelers be high. So what I knew was if I wanted to have more opportunity, I had to get something with a higher roof. So my van now is a ProMaster 3500 extended. So ProMaster is a Dodge, right? Dodge makes a high roof extended vehicle. Ford makes a high roof extended vehicle, and Mercedes makes a high roof extended vehicle. And the Mercedes extended vehicle has the longest extension out of all the vans, right? So if I was saying like which vehicles to go with, I would definitely recommend one of the more extended vehicles, because that way you're not limiting the type of freight that you can get. But if you don't got the money to get no extended vehicle, you can get out there and make it work in a regular cargo van, bro. Like you know what I mean? Maybe you want to start there, and then once you build up some money like I did to get in a larger vehicle, you can do that, you know.
Alright, so now you got the vehicle. Now, how do you find the load?
So alright, so there's a couple of different ways you can find the load, and I'm just gonna try to break this thing down simpler, like the simplest form, right? So shippers are like manufacturers, you know, people that have parts. They call those shippers. They need something shipped. So shippers typically go to brokers, and the brokers are the people that negotiate to find the shippers the best deal to ship their freight from point A to point B, right? And so typically it goes from shipper, broker, to what's called a dispatcher. A dispatcher is somebody that works for the carrier. Most dispatchers have like 5 to 10 carriers, carrier being myself, which means I own and operate my own vehicle. Or I own and operate a fleet of vehicles. So a carrier works with a dispatcher. He says, hey, go find me freight. A broker has freight and he's trying to find a good deal. The dispatcher contacts the broker and say, hey, my driver is willing to do this delivery at this price. And the broker pretty much says, okay, that's the price that we're willing to go get. So we'll take that, you know.
So how do I find a dispatcher?
Okay. And so I just want to make sure that they got that, right? And so both, there's two middlemen.
Yeah, the dispatcher and the broker.
And a broker. And you can bypass both of these if you find your own shipper. Right? You can
negotiate the deals yourself.
Correct. And so, all right. So how do you find a dispatcher?
Now you know. Since you said that, we got to talk about finding all three now.
Facts. The way that you go, and yeah, I'm loving this. Yeah. but let's keep it simple for the most part. So how do you find a dispatcher? One of the biggest forms of marketing is word of mouth. So I recommend anybody that asks me about this industry, every time you go to any dock is a place that you pick up freight from and drop it off. You know, dock. Every time you pull up to a ramp, any business, you need to build rapport with everybody your eye touches.
Relationships matter, which ties back into what you said earlier about your reading issue and
right? So you build a rapport. You say, even if it's just a head nod or hi, what happened to me is that when I found other drivers, I immediately asked them, who are you running for? How good are they? Do you have any recommendations? Can you recommend any dispatchers or brokers to me? And from those conversations, that's how I got in a position to get brokers. And I'm not just limiting myself to talking to LTL expediters. I'm talking to the truckers. I'm talking to the supervisor. I'm talking to the forklift drivers. Everybody has access to the relationships in some form or fashion that you may need to connect you to getting a load, right?
Absolutely. But for the person just now starting out though,
Yeah.
that's not just gonna ride up to a dock or something like that. How you get your first opportunity?
So my first it was all. So my way was through relationship the whole time, right? That's just something that I do. But a more practical thing that you definitely can do, and I regurgitate things that I heard from people that have taught me. You can go on Craigslist in the search engine. You can put in sprinter vans, and there's going to be a plethora of different jobs and opportunities that pop up. You can call those numbers, and then you can ask them questions like, "Hey, do you do expediting? Do you know any dispatchers or brokers?" That's one way. You also can do the same thing on Indeed, right? And there are fleet owners on there. Fleet owners are couriers that have multiple vehicles. Those are also people that you can reach out to that have information about the industry. Also, there's a website that helped me out a lot. I just went down and read the blog posts and comments, but it's called expeditors.com, right? And I went on there, and so Google is another good way as well to find dispatchers. And Instagram, #dispatchers. You're going to see, if you go to #dispatchers on Instagram, you're going to find a plethora of people with their posters and flyers, and they're going to tell you what they dispatch. Oh, I dispatch 18-wheelers. I also do box trucks and sprinter vans. Like, use all of your resources online and in person to connect the dots to these different positions that I just named.
Absolutely. So we know where to get the equipment from. We know how to get the route. Another major question that people have all the time, or get
Curry.
Yeah. So we know how to get the equipment from. We know where to get the jobs from, so that we can start making money.
Yeah.
Right. Another common question is insurances. Where do I go to get my insurance? I'm gonna hit you with all the ones that they slam in my comment section every day. About to put all the burden on Breon.
Listen. Did y'all hear me breathe? I'm gonna do it one more time. It's like that steam coming out of my head, bro. Because in this business, where you really take the biggest hit is in your insurance. My insurance right now, I'm just gonna be so real with you. I got higher insurance than an 18-wheeler, and I'm in a sprinter van.
Is that because your driving record or?
My driving record is clean.
Yeah.
That insurance is factored a couple of different ways, right? They go by credit. They go by age. They go by the area of town that you live in, and they also go by the state that you live in, right? And so I happen to be in Georgia. Who knew Georgia had some of the highest wrecks in the country?
And you're in Atlanta.
Yeah. So I'm talking to my insurance broker. He comes back to me. Oh, you might not like this. to get my MC, to get my motor carrier.
You better sound like Yogi Bear. Like, I don't think the Ranger gonna like you,
bro. To get my MC, there's a requirement of $300,000 worth of coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And good. I can't believe that I paid this. By the way,
you ain't gotta get too personal. If you don't want to.
I'm gonna lay it all the way out. I'm not. Yeah. So $300,000 in coverage. And most companies that you run for, even in a sprinter van, want you to have $1 million in coverage. And I think to even get into Amazon, I think you gotta have maybe like 2 million. I could be wrong, right? I don't got my phone on me. I could fact, but y'all go look it up. Like, right, you gotta have like really to get with certain companies. You gotta have a lot of insurance, right? And so for me to have 300,000, I'm paying $1,600 a month, bro.
Dang.
Well, let me ask this question though. So you're not going to work tomorrow, but that $1,600 is easy to pay, right? With the money you make. You just don't the idea. You don't like the idea, man.
So first, I came from East Chattanooga in Chattanooga, Tennessee. $1,600 in insurance ain't never easy to pay. Like, what you ain't going to work tomorrow, right? But no, I'm not.
Okay,
but
you get what I'm saying? I'm saying that's good money. That's what I'm saying.
Definitely.
Right. So you don't want to discourage anybody.
No. I don't want to discourage anybody, but let me keep it real.
Yeah, we just being real.
Let me keep it real. You not on the road thinking you about to eat at Roof Chris every day, bro. You not out there thinking you about to stay in Motel 6s and I'm tired of bro.
The Motel 6 ain't even
called
nice.
sacrifice, man.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping in the like I'm sleeping on sometime right in front of my freight. Like it's too much freight back there. I'm in my driver's seat.
Right.
Blinds covered up. You know what I'm saying? Like
towels if you ain't got the blinds.
All of that, man. All of that. So yeah. And then sometimes, bro, listen. I might.
Good old days.
Sacrifice. It's called sacrifice.
Yeah, good old days.
I'm a
Kid don't know
Hey,
Kid ain't never been to no trip.
She don't know about no sacrifice.
Hey,
she got Pelican water.
Hey, I got Pelican. That's how you pronounce it. Got an S at the beginning. Yeah. So yes. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. It was during the pandemic. There were months where I did not have freight, bro.
Were you just starting at the time? What?
Huh?
Were you just starting at the time, or it was just got
I started in November.
No, I started in November. The people, the brokers that I was running with, the dispatchers and stuff, they dried up.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And wasn't nothing shaking. And I ain't know what to do.
And then shit still keep coming through.
Right.
Sure still do.
Gotcha. What did you do in the meanwhile?
Huh?
What did you end up doing in the meanwhile?
I looked up to the heavens and I was like, hey, was shaking. And I felt like I got back, bro. Like, your talent gonna make room for you, bro.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was what I know how to do. I started sharing what information that I knew, and then my social media following grew, right? Mm-hmm. Then I start going in the thrift shops, finding valuable stuff to sell on eBay,
right?
Flipping,
right?
I got my camera out, blew the dust off that one. I started taking. I made a way.
Amen. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And anybody that needed some freight moved, not freight, but moving stuff. I got a vehicle.
Utilized it. Yeah.
I found a way forward, bro. And then when this thing popped back off, we were still in a position, and we were in a better position because now we got an audience. Man, I can say one of the most favorable things that happened to me after the real hit of the pandemic was I had a dude hit me up in my inbox. They got a felony on this record through me being able to share information about this industry. Man, he's able to feed his family members.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And so, like, I can't. It's the reward of that, bro. Like, it's not. I can't put that into a monetary value.
No.
And I feel I'm not a worker, bro. Like, I'm a change agent in my community now, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. I'm a real boss.
Yeah. So it's I forgot the question.
We're talking about insurance.
Yeah, insurance. So that $1,600 is a real number, right? And so, but let's say this. I told y'all that I drove from Atlanta to Cali. That's about 2,000 miles, and on average, during the pandemic, the numbers dropped all the way down to like 75, 50 cents a mile. Ugly, just ugly, right?
Mhm.
So I wasn't about to get out there and drive mad far and not make no money. It
Right.
don't make sense.
Don't
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You think it was like that, but not to cut you off, but before we go deep with it,
Yeah.
you think it's like that because y'all wasn't carrying non-essential, y'all wasn't carrying essential items? Because I know couriers that was like, they got rich, but they hauling medical commodities to hospitals, pharmacies, delivering mail to the post office. That took off for them.
So there were couriers that made a killing, just like it was entrepreneurs that made a killing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say they probably had the right business strategy, and they had the right relationships.
Right.
Right. My brother told me from the jump, he said, don't be afraid to eat the crumbs, bro. 'Cause if you be the king of the crumbs, you eventually get to the main course, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, I didn't have relationships, right?
Mhm.
So as I'm continuing to go though, as I kept going and I didn't stop, I started getting more loads, right? But I'm still looking for those relationships. Those what you call it, like the medical stuff, commodities and stuff. I would say that those are more like dedicated.
Oh yeah, that's more like routes. Yeah.
Routes, they call them dedicated lanes.
Mm-hmm.
And I want that now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want some, cause now I can really grow a business with consistent money. Like if they got, like you said, routes or a delivery.
Yeah,
that they
dedicated.
doing
Yeah, you gotta get. I was more of an independent courier than an expediter.
Yeah.
We did expediting here and there, but I am familiar with it. Like, yeah. But my thing was I was trying to hire people, and I couldn't hire people with what was available at the time. This was years ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't hire people with expediting because I never knew exactly how much I was gonna make. So I can't tell you I'll give you X amount of dollars a week because I don't know. Yeah.
And now you see my dilemma, because
Yeah.
I got into it with the background of being a district manager of 4 bread trucks and 2 box trucks. I got people working under me, right? So my thing is, okay, once I get into this van, I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn the business. Drivers respect people that's been behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already have that under my belt, and so then I'll level up and become a fleet owner, like a real fleet owner.
Right. Yeah.
That I'm still looking to get to that place. I haven't met that quota in my business, but as like I'm like anything else, but I'm not stopping until I do it. So it's just figuring out, asking questions, making the right connections, and I'll get there. It's just
Absolutely
figuring, figuring it out. But that insurance $1,600, and sometimes I pay it on the right, like I pay it right, like when it's supposed to be paid. And sometimes I'll be like, get this other load, I got you. You see, you feel me? But we haven't had our insurance shut off, so we still rolling. You know?
Right.
Yeah, but by the way, there are situations where you don't have to have that insurance and you still can be an expediter, right? So what I wanted to be my own courier. I wanted to build. I want to, and I am building a company where I'll have dispatchers and I have a diversified fleet. And so I knew I wanted to jump in because it takes 90 days for some companies to allow your MC number to run their freight, right? So new MC numbers, motor carrier numbers, like we talked about before. Some companies won't allow you to run their freight until you have some skin in the game. You've been in there. You've paid your insurance. You're a reputable company. Like they can check and see if you've been here for a little bit of time. So I knew that I wanted that. But if you don't want to have your own MC number, you can get out here and be leased on to a company that does have an MC number. And if you do that, you don't have to have the amount of coverage that I have on my vehicles to keep my MC number. You can have you don't even have to have a commercial insurance. You can just have regular insurance with cargo insurance added on to it, and that's a lot cheaper, a whole lot cheaper. Like I can't even remember what I was paying, but
Probably $1,000 less.
yeah, definitely. It made a lot more sense. But
What's the pros and cons of that? I mean, I heard the pros. What's the cons?
the cons of being leased on,
Right.
You gonna make less money? Well, go ahead.
yeah. So most, because the company is taking more of a risk
Mhm.
with you, you do make less money. So when I say less money, when you got a dispatcher and you have your own MC number, it ranges between like 8 and 12% range. Let's just say that. Some people are a little higher, some people are a little lower. But when you leased on, you getting into the 25 and 30% of each load that you run. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I wanted my money, and I wanted to get to a point where I could build something and I could that I could potentially pass down to my family, or just bring a vehicle to generate some wealth. And that means I knew I had to kind of go through like the trenches that we talked about, you know what I'm saying, to put myself in that type of position. So,
And did you just start with your same insurance company that you had your personal vehicle insurance with?
Facts. So the best, and this a gem, the best insurance company to get with for new carriers is Progressive. Bro, I don't care how you flip it. Most insurance brokers will lead you back to Progressive insurance, because they are willing to work, like I said, with newer companies. So that's the company I'm with. If there is a better company out there, definitely interested in knowing. But all of my mentors that I've talked to have recommended Progressive, and this is why, because let's say if my sister here said, well, shoot, I wanna drive with you tomorrow. I just need you to send me your driver's license. And as soon as she send me that, if she send it to me right now, like within 20 minutes, I can call Progressive and they'll have her added on my insurance right now. They're very responsive. Like if I needed to get $1 million coverage, because JT was like, listen, I'm shipping a bag. I need you to like cover all of this. Like I can say, wait, hold up, how much? Okay, hey Progressive, I need $1 million coverage, because if I mess this up, I need to be able to pay this man his money back. You know what I'm saying? And they'll do it right now. So they give you the flexibility and option, but you're gonna pay for it. So yeah, man. Another gym. If you got enough capital, you could potentially pay for your insurance all at once, right? So if you could pay for all of your insurance at once, like let's say, like I told you, my stuff is like 16,000, not 16,000, 1,600 a month. I think they do it in 6-month terms, right?
Yep.
So if you can pay that 6-month terms at one time, like when you guys negotiate, like what your payment will be, you can get a discount on your insurance, and every penny helps. You know what I'm saying? To lower your monthly expenses. So just think about that. And also credit is very important in getting your insurance. Bro, you can live and die off of your insurance. So what I'm saying right now, this is probably the meat of what I'm gonna be talking, like these questions. Like so start working on your credit, man. Start working on your credit now. There are various different programs and different YouTube videos that'll tell you simple ways to improve your credit, man. Do that. That's important in any industry that you get in, bro. So yeah.
Absolutely. Does everybody here know how to start an expediting company after listening to what Breon said? If not, what questions do you have?
I would call
I got a good idea.
Yeah,
Why
I want
do
you. If I had to do it, I would just call.
You just call me.
This is a podcast, but we're trying to get people to know that can't call him.
Or that's a service you could.
There is 140,000 people.
Yeah.
His phone will explode in his pocket, burn a hole through his thigh muscle, through the bone, to the inner thigh, through the testicles.
Jump Jehoshaphat, baby.
140,000.
Not the test. What's wrong with the leg bone and everything, but the test.
Too far.
Not the multiple choice. What are we doing here?
What I gathered was great relationships.
Alright, listen.
It means the biggest difference, not only in speed and availability, but in money as well. Because you messing around on the phone with your progressive person, that alone can give you a discount. Being nice to the people and the gatekeepers, that alone is gold. You'll never understand how just being nice and doing certain things for people that you have to contact will get you what you need.
Yeah, and I don't wait. If I know, like, hey man, I need about 5 more days, I call them. They ain't gotta call me. I'm calling them. I'm right in front of their face. It's COVID.
Taking care of business.
Yeah, like by the way, during COVID, they pushed the insurance back, right? So they gave extensions on your insurance. So I made sure I was in front of their face, man. I'm proud to pay my debtors, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To say I paid my bills this month, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just something I feel like as you build something that you really believe in, to know that you in the thick of one more month mean everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I can fight one more. I got one more money in me. If I do good this month, I might have 2 more. Like, what's up?
Hey, man, I got 2 more questions for you, man. So the first question is, people hear me say it all the time. So in your honest experience, you've been keeping it real, and I appreciate that. Do you think expediting is a 6-figure business?
Good night. 6-figure business. I'm about to keep it all the way funky, right? So, first of all, you gotta be able to, in any business, you gotta be able to look yourself in the mirror and know who you are and your shortcomings, right? I say that to say, if you like me, you're a creator, you gotta have people on your team that's gonna still be able to help your business meet the objective that it needs to survive. So for me, I had to hire accountants. I had to get financial advisors to mentor me. I had to surround myself with people that was way smarter than me to figure out my way forward. So a 6-figure business expedited. I think that's a tough one.
Yeah. And we're not talking about first year. We're talking about ever.
So for me, yes.
Yeah.
Because listen, so I'm gonna put it to you like this. Yes, I transport freight, but that's not the only thing I transport. I transport joy. I transport narrative. I transport story. And if I capture that on Instagram, like the people that's around me right now on this podcast, I know that I can turn my social media presence into another source of income.
Absolutely.
The way that I get my content is by being in these places that most people haven't traveled to, like the South Flats or LA. You know, some people ain't never been outside their city, but they can on my wall.
And make money. Like, yeah.
And so I think anybody that's listening to this is expediting a 6-figure business, yeah. If you're willing to put the work and learn and see, you know, other ways that you can add value to your van. Your van don't just haul things, brother.
Right.
It's also
It's a
a
whole
media
movement.
company. Like it's a movement, right?
Yeah.
It's a whole movement of people that's just living in the vans and everything.
And so you connected to them. Those when I post my videos of me hauling my freight, I put hashtag van life.
Yeah.
And most of the people initially who was liking my stuff was the van life people, because they are like, what are they? They are like the early hip hop cats back in the day. If you were a break dancer or you did b-boying or air spraying and you found another one, you know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Embrace them, yeah.
Exactly. So you gotta. There's a niche out there when they see other people living in their van, but then also they see somebody making money doing it. Also, I'm living in my van and I'm making money. You know what I'm saying? You answering a lot of questions for these people that's out there, and so yeah, I do, man. I definitely think it's a 6-figure business.
Last question I have for you, man. What's the hardest part of what you do?
The hardest part of what I do, I'm gonna answer it for me, and then I feel like I can open it up to answer it for a couple of different people. So for most drivers, the hardest part is the back office stuff, right? Paperwork. That's my challenge as well. So that's why people get into expediting. That's why people get dispatchers, because dispatchers are supposed to handle all of your back office stuff for you, right? And that's why people go to leased-owned companies, because those companies handle all of your back office stuff and your paperwork for you. So when tax time comes and things like that, you'll have somebody that can print out, documents for you to turn into the tax professional, so you can be in right standing. The paperwork definitely for me is the challenge, because you always on the move. And then once you get into like the speed of our job and the speed of what we doing, and you enjoying the road, it's pretty difficult to stop to do this stuff, but it has to be done. And you got to make like I say, relationships. You got to get you an accountant and start listening and looking at videos of automation. Listen to transportation podcasts. Listen to how the bigger companies in your industry are solving problems. Freight Waves is a great resource to listen to information about the transportation industry. Like it's been amazing, but that's definitely the paperwork. Administrative.
Going back to her question, you was gonna tell her why solitude is the best part.
So solitude, right? So I listened to a lot of audiobooks, and when I got into expediting, I made sure I had about 5 or 6 different audiobooks to help me on the road, just tips and tricks, right? Of how to be a driver. And we've been driving all our life, but we are not drivers though. Like now I'm a professional driver. So what I found in my listening of these books was that there is a zen moment that happens when you're on a stretch of highway for hours. Bro, like I feel like I get like wisdom data dumps. Like it seems like the whole universe opened up when you get out there, like on a long stretch of highway. Man.
That's awesome.
So and then you gotta think, like I'm in a ProMaster. My front windshield is probably about 4 feet to maybe 3.5. So I got this huge painting that I'm driving into. Some of the prettiest landscapes you ever seen in your life. That solitude ain't solitude. you going back to what you created to be in. Like, it's just nature. Like it's healing, man. That's all I can say about it. Like,
I love the way your brain works.
yes, it's healing. Man. It's so beautiful, bro. So I usually get goosebumps just talking about how amazing the road is, bro. Yeah, it's amazing.
Man, appreciate you stopping by, man, doing the podcast with me. Final thoughts, Corey.
Amazing, man. What you able to do, you know.
Man,
What you say was holding you back, it's amazing.
Appreciate
Keep
that.
moving forward, man. Keep telling your story. Very important to get it out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Okay, final thoughts, kid.
Women, don't be afraid.
Facts.
Don't be afraid.
All right, tell the people where they can reach you at on all your social media, man.
Okay. Can I follow that up just a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
So she said, women don't be afraid. One of my mentors is Sheree Moore. She's the leader of She Trucking, right? This is a women empowerment movement for women truck drivers. If you want to have a community of people that's out on the road with you, I definitely recommend you go check that out. She Trucking. It's powerful. But for me, you can find me on Instagram at See Him Delivers. Just put that in See Him Delivery. You just put that in Instagram search and I'll pop up. You'll see it just like my hat, See Him, and it'll have my logo, which is a tiger eye and everything. And you also can find me on Facebook at Breon, is BREON, Bree TV Thomas. And in all my content, you're gonna see a Sprinter van. So just go down the page, man. Check it out. My mission is, man, kind of to make. I want to tell the story and to make it fun and entertainment, man, and like entertaining. So a lot of my videos, they got music in them that I produced and made myself.
Nice.
Oh yeah, his videos. I got to interrupt that. We talked about it today. His videos, yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all definitely like him.
Yeah, and so I also, photography is like my second love behind dancing, which is kind of something. But so all of it's shot from a photographer's point of view of what I do, right? So I hope you guys engage with the content and that you entertain and that you actually learn something. And I want to foremost thank this brother to my left, JT Hustles. On multiple occasions, he's blessed my brand, and he didn't have to do that. And I'm so appreciative, like it beyond words. So thank you, bro, for even having me on here.
Man, no problem, bro. Thanks for coming, bro. And just like that, man, we gone.